The Yankees lose. Juan Soto. Hey, look, I'm really sorry, Yankee fans. I had to do it. It was too easy, but I feel for you, man. It's been a tough year for these Yankees, man. You lose to the World Series in just a really brutal fashion, and you lose the World Series to the Dodgers of all teams, and now you lose Juan Soto, probably he's the best hitter, right? Is he the best hitter? I think you can say he's the best hitter in baseball. You know, if he's not, he's up there, right? He's got to at least be top 5, top 3. If, there's we're splitting hairs, but he's amongst top of the top, clearly. And this was freaking mind-blowing. What was it? It was 756? Yeah, 765 for 15 years. And then I saw that after the year, starting in his 2030 season, Mets can buy, he has an opt-out, but Mets can buy him out if they start paying him $5 million more per year after the 2029 season. So 2030 season and beyond, he can get himself a pay increase of $5 million if he decides to opt out, which makes his total contract, if that were to happen, which is really tricky though, by the way. But his total contract would be, Bob Nightingale reports, $805 million if such a thing were to happen. But it's crazy because, that's kind of tricky because in his year 30 season, I don't know. I don't see any, maybe I'm not thinking this all the way through, but I'm not sure who would do that. Because I think this is the contract. I don't think it's gonna get any better than this. And sure, he can increase his pay by $5 million, but then he also risks, what if he's just doing, he has to keep up this level of play or get better for him to want to leave. And I feel like to keep this level of play up or get better, by a few more years, it's gonna be tough. But then you're gonna risk not having that contract. This seems like the best contract he could possibly, this was the best contract out there for him and he got it. So for him to risk it for another, $5 million a year seems, I don't know, it's super interesting. But it's crazy the fact that he could potentially have an $805 million contract. It's crazy that he currently has a $765 million contract. And at first people were like, I don't get it, Shohei Ohtani got $700 million. And I was really shocked. I know, because I think when they first started talking about it, Ohtani's contract, they were talking about $400 million or maybe 5, I don't know. And I remember thinking I don't know, Shohei's really special. There's this X factor of all these eyeballs he brings in and all this interest, he might get, and I thought it was $100 million more than what people were saying. So if they were saying 500, I thought damn, Shohei might get $600 million. And then they started creeping up maybe 620 something, maybe 6 something. It's whoa, that's crazy. And he got $700 million. So people are and I kind of get it. It's okay, Shohei Ohtani contract was so much more than the next biggest guy, Mike Trout. Shout out Mike Trout. Trout was at 420 or something. Shohei got 7 something, and that was mind blowing. But there was some logic behind it, right? So let's get into let's get into it. I'm gonna switch it up really quick, and you're gonna be able to see. This is class right here. We're gonna take some notes, all right? Here with our expert graphics. On one hand, you have Showtime, Shohei Ohtani, and the theory is he's a batter, right? That's worth $350 million, and he's a pitcher that's worth $350 million, roughly by his production, right? So you combine those two, and you get $700 million. But he also brings other value to the table, like a crazy fans. CF, not center field. This is for crazy fans, and what I mean by that is he's a global. You have to make it global fan base. It's just so intriguing. What's that worth? I don't know, but you get that for free. Also, what does he bring? He also brings huge, I don't know if it's ever been done before, but he brings in a record level of deferrals. And what's that worth? I don't know, but it's worth a lot because you see what the Dodgers are doing and they're signing a crap ton of guys, right? How much is that worth? I don't know, but you also get that for free. So, it's actually worth a lot. And also this 700, I mean, when you're dealing with numbers this big, I think like you have to take like inflation into consideration. So like when he actually gets paid, it's not even be worth what it's the 700 mil that's worth today. So this is super huge. And this is super huge, and it's already paid off because they do have a World Series, right? Like, it doesn't even matter what happens now, in my opinion, kind of, because they got the World Series. It worked, even, and it's crazy because they were injured and stuff, but it worked. Yeah, and then Shohei's 30, right? He's 30 years old, I think. And then, I don't know, what do you want to call prime years? Like 30 to maybe like 25 to 35, I guess. So let's call, he got 5 prime years left. Let's call it that, right? And it's a little tricky, right? Because the pitching part, he didn't pitch last year, and you don't know exactly what's going to happen. On the other hand, we have Juan Soto, right? He's a batter. I don't know what he's worth. I'm not sure. I'm just saying this was a theory for Shohei. Juan Soto, I don't know. So let's just keep going. Is he a pitcher? No, he's not a pitcher. Does he bring like a rabid amount of fans? Yeah, I think he definitely does. These are the crazy fans. These are not the crazy fans, right? But it's not global fans. So let's do it global so I can keep it consistent. And I can say, no, he doesn't bring in the global fans. Did he bring in any deferrals? Absolutely not. It's being reported he did not do any deferrals. And yeah, I mean that's a crazy amount to get. And then but the thing is, right? This is what they're saying. He's 26. He's 26 years old. I don't even remember. What did I say this was? Oh, 5 prime years. So that's what you do get, right? If we're going 26 to 35, that's what? 9 prime years. 9 prime years. Are we saying he's that much better of a hitter? I don't think he is. I mean, I think it could be argued, right? He's a better hitter. A pure hitter, a good hitter. So I don't know what that's worth. But he is 20, I don't know. So, let's keep it consistent. Let's do it all. Bam, 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 bam. Comes to 765, I think the number was. Wait. We gotta help out our boy Juan Soto here, because this actually is the part that helps him a little bit more. So 9 prime years of a Soto versus 5 prime years of an Ohtani. That's the only way I can see getting to that number. I don't know. I think we can look at this Ohtani contract and be like, damn, that was a good deal. And like, he really hooked him up with the deferrals and like the fan base, right? The global fan base, because, they're getting like contracts, like crazy amounts of contracts, just sponsorships and stuff like that is what I mean. Looking at these two contracts, I think if you want to make like an argument for Soto here, you could do it like this, I think. He's younger, so you're going to get way more of his prime years, right? Ohtani, first of all, when he signed, was injured, right? So he was not even a pitcher. And he's going to pitch this year, but like obviously it takes some time to come back and to get to the full swing of things. If anybody's going to do it though, it's Ohtani. He is the man. But, nothing is guaranteed. So, of these prime years, right? I don't know, is 5 coming up from now? I don't know the exact age, but one of these years is guaranteed you're not going to get a pitcher, right? He's a little bit older, right? And you're still going to have to get to this number by paying him in those years when most likely he's not going to be as productive. This is 15 years. So, I mean, it's kind of similar on both ends. I believe technically the AAV would be higher with Ohtani, but it's not because, he took a deferral. Right? He did this crazy deferral, so that's not even the case. But the argument for I think, to make these closer would be Ohtani's older, so you're going to get less prime of him. Ohtani came in injured, so he wasn't a pitcher. And he's had a lot of injuries before. I mean, he was injured plenty of, I think like 3 times with the Angels, maybe twice. So that could play a factor. Like, the man throws, like, I think he can touch 102, like 102 miles an hour. you know, guys who throw hard do get injured. So there's a chance that you're never going to get this like value of this pitcher. And so yeah, that looks a lot closer. But I definitely think that without this contract on Showtimes, you don't get Juan Soto's contract, right? It like normalized the number. Ohtani is a freak of nature. He's a unicorn. It's like, oh my God, he's got the global fans. But Soto, in his own right, is an amazing player, right? I don't think anybody's done what he's done. I like being at his age, right? How good he is at how young he is. And he might get better. He probably will get better. You know, we're talking about a 26-year-old guy. Okay, he's 26. He's a young dude who's probably going to get a little bit stronger, right, in year 27, 28. What do you make of this? At first, I thought it was incredibly crazy. I thought the Ohtani contract was crazy. This, I know people are saying, why is he so special? He doesn't pitch. He doesn't pitch, and he doesn't play the outfield well, right? I mean, it could probably be argued that Shohei could probably play the outfield better. You know, give him some reps in there, he'll be just fine. But Soto's younger. Soto is, you know, if not the best, one of the best hitters in the league. And, you know, you can build around him more just because he's younger, you know, so you have more time. So, yeah, that's kind of it. Those are kind of my thoughts on, like, the contracts between Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani's. I'm not entirely sure what to make of both contracts. I mean, they're both great for probably everybody in the league, for themselves especially. You know, it's got to be a giant celebration for Soto right now. And I think Juan Soto kind of did push the envelope further for future megastar contracts, because Ohtani signed a $700 million contract and it was just like, wow, we've never seen a number like this before. That's insane. But he's only worth that because he's a global phenomenon, that, like, you know, he's the face of the game. Because he pitches, you know, he's one of the top pitchers, and because he's one of the top hitters, roll that into one, and that's why you get the exception of $700 million. And he deferred the contract, so he's not even getting paid all that today. So, you know, with these little, little things that we did here and there, that's how we ended up at the $700 million. Soto took that and then ran with it more. He said, no. You don't have to be a super global phenom, which, you know, Soto has a bunch of fans. I think it's fair to say he doesn't have the same level as Ohtani. So he's saying, no, you don't have to have necessarily that level of fame, right? He's a superstar, but you don't have to have that level of fame. Also, you don't have to defer it. We're gonna keep all this money, baby. We're gonna keep every single penny of this contract, and you're gonna pay me today. Inflation is not gonna affect my money, right? And he made it so that you don't have to be a two-way star. Heck, people argue he doesn't even play that outfield that great. So he said, look, you don't have to be a two-way star. You don't have to be a super mega, like a once in a lifetime type of, you know, crazy phenom. And you don't have to defer your money. You can keep that money and put it in the bank, and you can still get a contract like this. And I think that these numbers kind of normalize like these huge, you know, it definitely helps, right? If you're a mega star, I don't know what it does for players that are not mega stars. I know people like to overgeneralize and be like, yo, this doesn't help everybody. I don't know if that's true. But definitely for mega stars, we have a new number, 700 million. Oh, and then I forgot to mention, he pushed it further. He said 700 million, and I'm going to get more at 765, potentially 805 or 803 or whatever it was. That is insane. Both of these have pushed contracts further for megastars. I think Shohei kind of started it with like the 700 million. We've never seen it before. And then Juan Soto said, I'm going to take that and I'm going to run even further with it. Yankee fans, so sorry, man. And I got to say, he could look good. He looked kind of, I mean, I'm not a Yankee fan, but he looked like a Yankee to me. He looked good in pinstripes. Although I will say, like, when they were doing the other like free agency, like little graphic, and they'd show Juan Soto's face with a bunch of different jerseys, I think Mets were like the second best, right? They look like a flamboyant Yankee. I don't know how to describe it. It looked cool though. But yeah, that sucks. He looked like a Yankee to me. He looked like he looked good in those pinstripes. Just looked natural. But hey, Soto said, you know what? I'm not going to want to play for a team. I'm going to make teams want me more. Whoever wants me most, and they're going to show what the cash money gets me. And that's what happened. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the whole matter. I think both contracts are crazy. I can kind of see how we get to Juan Soto now. Like when you consider every little thing, it's not crazy when you just consider value they bring to the field. You start looking at it and it's like all the revenue that Ohtani generates, the extra revenue, was kind of free. And the Dodgers got a killer deal. Like it's the stupidest, it's such a good deal for them. That being said, this is all like I don't think you can say how much a contract, like was it a good or a bad contract up until it's done, because we don't know what's gonna happen. For the Dodgers, they secured their World Series, so I think they're good now in a way, but we don't know what's going to happen to Ohtani's contract, right? What if he gets injured again? What if he can't play? That can happen. Same with Soto, but hey, that's the risk these owners pay. Like you pay for the potential of the guy. You don't pay because he's going to do this and this and this. You pay for the potential because so many times contracts don't work out. But these guys are like the most sure you're going to get just because they're good. I saw like Soto has like... He's never had an OPS less than, or OB on base percentage less than 400. Like, I don't know. I mean, congrats to these guys. Congrats to the Mets. You got to be fired up, Mets. That's cool. You know, they were in the playoffs last year. Hopefully, Soto definitely makes them better, right? I don't know. Anyways, this is Casual Baseball. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Peace.